I'm Noel Capon and welcome to Chapter 5 of your marketing textbook. This is the third chapter in our little series on insight. First of all, we talked about market insight. Then in Chapter 4, we talked about customer insight. In Chapter 5, we discussed competitor and complementor insight. Now, in Chapter 1 of the book, we said that for the firm to be successful, it has to deliver value to customers, but it also has to deliver greater value than its competitors. In other words, it has to secure differential advantage. And in this chapter, we focus on the background data and analysis you need to be able to create that differential advantage. Now, our framework for looking at competitors consists of 5 different parts. First of all, we have to identify those competitors, and here we focus both on direct competitors and indirect competitors. Direct, the ones that are like the firm; indirect are ones that deliver similar value but in some different way, perhaps with a different technology. And we also look at actual or today's competitors and tomorrow's competitors. And each of those 4 types of competitor, if you think of a 2x2 framework, are important to get an understanding of. Second of all, we talk about describing competitors, the sort of data that you need and the frameworks to organize that data so it makes sense to you and can help in evaluation. In evaluating competitors, our main focus is on a device we call competitive assessment analysis, which for my money is one of the most powerful pieces of analytic framework that we have in marketing. On the one hand, we take the values that customers require and match those against the strengths or competencies any firm would have to be able to deliver those values. Then what we do is see how the firm in effect stacks up against its competitors on those set of competencies. When you've done that analysis, it puts you in good shape to try and figure out what strategy or what are the options and then the strategy of your competitors, because of course if you can understand the strategy, current and future of your competitors, that puts you in a better shape to determine your own strategy. And finally, we talk about managing competitors, the idea that perhaps we can do some things that lead competitors to take actions that are beneficial to the firm. So that's the 5-fold, 5-part competitive framework that you'll learn about in this chapter. We also talk about complementors. They're not too often talked about in marketing texts, but they're really very important. The idea is there are other organizations that are relevant to the firm's success or failure. So, for example, the automobile firm's success is linked to how well the oil companies do and what the oil companies do. Apple's success with its iPhone is closely linked to the application developers for the applications that run on the iPhone, and vice versa. Those application developers are successful to the extent that Apple is successful with its iPhone. So that's what we'll talk about in this chapter. You'll get a good understanding of competitors and a good understanding of the various types of complementors. Now, one of the things you might want to do is to think about a focal firm, and as you go through this chapter, think about who its competitors are. Describe them, evaluate them, and try and figure out what strategy you might expect from them over the next 2 or 3 years. You might also identify who the complementer firms and start thinking about what complementors can do or cannot do that will help the firm in its goal to be successful. In any event, there's quite a lot of material in chapter 5. I think you'll find it a very good basis for helping to develop differential advantage for your firm. Good luck.